Hello and welcome to yet another video here on the YouTube channel Speedfriending Fellowship STF. My name is Andreas, Norwegian Viking, and this is my unboxing and review of the new 40k start set Dark Imperium 8th edition. It's released to yesterday in the stores, and I picked mine up yesterday morning. Really excited. I have taken a look at some of the books, but not the content of the start set itself. So this is going to be exciting. Now for 40k, it's been kind of a roller coaster ride, because back when I started playing competitive games, sorry about that. Back when I was playing competitive games, that was started about 40k 3rd edition. And the game was sort of my go-to game. I played nearly exclusively 40k all the time, and as time went on, I suddenly found myself playing less and less 40k, abandoning to games like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, Age of Sigmar, or the old Warhammer Fantasy, obviously, and in these days Guild Ball and loads of other games that I find cooler and more narrative play than what 40k has been. Because 40k has had a problem, being that all the rules for the different factions and models are not only spread through like one codex here and one codex there, they are spread through source books, campaign books, narrative books, like whatever, and special formations you could get if you purchase a particular box set on release that was limited edition. Basically, you could also get factions if you bought like sets, attended events and stuff like that. So there's so much going on, so much different rules, that I think the way to go is to release a new edition, and of course they have, with some new exciting stuff into it. So what they've done is that they finally progressed the story, the narrative of the Dark Millennium, or the 41st Millennium, has become more exciting with not only, because the theme for 40k has always been that the doomsday clock is like seconds to midnight, but you have Robert Galeeman back, you have some other cool stuff happening with the Imperium, so they have kind of been striking back in the narrative going to 8th edition, but now it seems that they are back on the fence with the new rift that's been tearing the Imperium apart, leaving half the Spaceman chapters behind that rift, cut off from the light of the Astronomicon and stuff like that. So it's very, very exciting for me as a fluff nut for 40k to read the new fluff and to be excited about the fluff again, because it is kind of been boring the last couple of years, and that I find is a bit funny to me, because I've always enjoyed it. I've been going more and more towards Horus Heresy regards to the fluff, because that's more exciting for me than what the current story is for the actual 40k universe. But enough talk, let's crack open the box and see what's inside, and you can have a look at the sprues and everything, and check out the various cool stuff that's in the box. So we'll be right back. Alright, so here is the mighty box. Now, first of all, I want to show you what exactly I mean about less rulebooks to tug around. Because along the launch of the new box and rulebook, you have the launch of 5 books. So you have Index Xenos number 2, you have Index Xenos number 1. So these are like Craftful Eldar, the Drukhari, the Nari, the Harlequins, the Necrons. So that's all the elves and the Necrons. You also have the Orcs, the Tower Empire, the Tyranids, and the Gene Silicults. So all of the different Xenos races are in the books, and as you can see, they have renamed the Dark Elder to the Drukhari, the Elder to the Inari, and they also put a small apostrophe on the towel. So probably some licensing issues or something, but they've done something like that. So you have these two books. You have Index Chaos, which has the Heretic Astartes, the Chaos Demons, and the Questor Trattores. So that is probably the Knights, the Traitor Knights, Renegade Knights. Yeah, that's correct. So that's the evil forces, or the evil, not Imperial forces. That's 3 books, and the Imperium itself comes in 2 books. That's Codex or Index Imperium number 1 and 2. So in the first one you have Space Marines, Blood Angels, Dark Angels, Space Wolves, Grey Knights, Death Watch, and Legion of Damned. And in the second one, I am so sorry. In the second one you have the Astra Militarum, or the old Imperial Guard. You have the Adeptus Mechanicus, which now seems to include the Skitarii. So they've been joined into one faction. You have the Imperial Knights, the Imperial Agents, so that's Inquisitors and the like, and also the Talons of the Emperor, which I believe is the different, the Adeptus Custodes. You have also Adeptus Astra Telepathica, you have the Officio Assassinorum, and everything there. So loads of cool stuff inside these 5 books. And basically, if you play Imperials, you only need these 2 books. If you play Chaos Forces, you only need this book. And if you play Eldar, you only need this book. And if you play Orcs, you only need this 1 book. So it's all much more streamlined and much more awesome to have everything you basically need to play all the old models inside these books. So let's get cracking open the box. So new kind of box. It's a box inside a box inside a box. So you have a slip cover that you just slide out. So the slip cover itself has a nice piece of artwork on it, with the new Primaris Marines against the Death Guard. On the back side you have the contents. Always good to have the contents illustrated on the box. Something some other game companies doesn't do. And you have basically a list of everything included, as well as a picture of what's included of models inside the box. And looks to be brimful with new plastic miniatures, and some of them are kind of awesome, and don't know if I'm actually going to use them for 40k, but I might use them for something completely different. So they've also have something new cool stuff in there. You have playtime. So there's approximately 90 minutes playtime. So you get more explanation of the game itself, because that's something that the game boxes have been lacking recently. So that's the cover. Let's put that away, and let's see this very, very nice detailed box. So first of all, you have a cool looking Space Marine with cross bolters, loads of servo skulls and stuff like that, and this actually slides out to reveal a rulebook, and it's the exact same rulebook that's available to purchase separately. That's inside box. It's hardback. Looks very, very nice. Let's have a look at that afterwards. You also get a small leaflet with the core rules, basically a cheat sheet, learning you the small fundamentals of the game. The fact phase, the morale phase, charge phase, to wound roll, everything basically. You get a small codex for the Primaris Space Marines. So this is every rule for the Primaris Space Marines included in the box. I know there's probably going to be a lot more of the Primaris, but it's cool that they have it in a leaflet, because then it looks kind of cool next to the other index books. Then you got the same for the Death Guard. So a small index book for the Death Guard. You have the new data sheets. So you have a Lord of Contagion here, with all the new stats on it, and in the back you have the points values. So I know there's been some kind of rambling about the points values not being on the actual data cards. I do think I'm both for and against it, because you could have it here, but if there's an errata to the points cost, you'll have to change the whole thing. Now you can just rebalance the points cost for an entire army by just errataing the points appendix instead. So I don't think the core rules will change that much for the models, but I do think that they will rebalance the points values when they actually think about doing that, and that will be easier for them to just rebalance this than doing all of these individually. It's a bit of a pain though, going back and forth, but you know, it is no kind of big deal. So you also have the assembly and painting guide, and I had a quick flick through of this, and what I really like about this is that the painting guides included in the start boxes now is more in depth. So previously you would have just one paint listed, like just MacLeod blue listed for his armor, but now you have the base, the shade layer, and the finished layer, and that is something they do on the skin. I don't think you would get half bad skin using this recipe, so everything looks better in my opinion for that. And you also got a transfer sheet, so a big transfer sheet inside the box. I feel that they are lacking in Pearl Fists, but you know, they have the big four. The Ultramarines, the Blood Angels, the Dark Angels, and the Space Wolves. So the big four are included, and that's, yeah, you can't fault them for that basically. So don't throw away the box when it looks like this, because underneath this is more stuff. So here you get all the bases. You have a range ruler widget actually, which goes from 1 to 12 inches, and it's better than the old whippy sticks by far. You also got dice, and these are not the old black and white and red dice you got for Games Workshop. These are cool. These look infinitely better, and you also have a new addition to the clear plastic sprue family. These are the new jetpack Space Marine sprues. So I think that this is very cool, because you have a big side to glue on. It is curved, so it doesn't stick right out of the base, and I do see a lot of possibilities with this sprue, so that's a very cool thing to see. So let's put that away, and let's check inside this big box. So let's break open the seal and open it. So loads of sprue inside. Let's have a quick look at some of them. So on one side it looks to be primary Space Marines. So looks to be, is this 3 identical sprues? Nope, it isn't. It is, all the sprues are different. Alright, so that's cool. So the sprues are filled to the brim with new stuff. So let's actually take all the sprues out of the box to show you. Alright, so this is the biggest sprue. It includes the banner for the Ancient. There's also loads of different bolters. Seems to be parts for both normal Primaris Marines as well as lieutenants and sergeants, stuff like that. And they are incredibly detailed. I immediately see that the detail on these plastics are far superior to any Space Marine release earlier. You can even see the pouches are not as bulky as they used to be. And that's something that's always bothering me, that the pouches are so big. So it actually looks to be in proportion. Of course, Primaris Space Marines, not everyone likes them, and that means that you could actually use these for true scale Space Marines if you want. I know lots of people who are going to do that, use them for true scale Space Marines. So obviously your Terminators are going to look small in comparison, but probably going to have Terminator Primaris Marines at some point. I hope. That will be cool. Alright, so that's one sprue. On the next sprues you have more Primaris Marines, you have some of the new plasma guns over there. You have the new jump pack style and the new jump pack assault bolters. So looks kind of cool. I'm not overly fond of these with the shield. I think the shield makes it too clunky, but then again, that's what Hobby Knife and some conversion instincts can get you. So I'll probably do a conversion of these. Maybe. We'll see. And there's more sprues. So you have more of the Space Marine sprues here. And lastly, you have last Space Marine sprue. Looks to be the captain inside this sprue. You have the captain cloak there. You also have the captain front. So it looks to me that most of the bits on the sprues are used in loads of different ways. Although numbers are different, the same on the sprues, so it might actually be, yeah, so you have sprue A, sprue B, okay. So that's cool. So let's have a look at the Death Guard. So I was talking about the Death Guard because the new like plague zombie cultist things, these could look cool in other games. They are futuristic and a bit diseased, but they can be used in like a post-apocalyptic game or something like that. I know Weil has some plans making a post-apocalyptic campaign using the Wreck Age rules, so there might be room for these then, or not, we'll see. So these seem to be an entire sprue filled with these, along with a big Death Guard model about there. Does look cool though, does look very cool, these models. All the nice details. So here seems to be loads of the Death Guard. Just remove this. Loads of Death Guard on these sprues. Big giant bell on it. You have the two morning stars over there. Seems to be going for horns about much as guns and stuff like that, and I really like that. I think it's cool that it's an amalgamation, and with some conversion technique you could probably use this for Age of Sigmar or Warhammer Fantasy or whatever as well. So again, another sprue of the cultist plague zombie Nurgle thingies. Looks good. Actually, it seems to be two of the same one, is it? Yeah, it's two of the same sprue for this. And the last big sprue includes the plague drone, the big plague drone thing, as well as the characters that you only get one of. And that plague drone looks cool. Has the perfect balance of metal and diseased flesh. So loads of miniatures to have a cool set of. I think you get 21 Primaris Marines, and you get about 30-35 Nurgle Marines or Nurgle models. So get yourself a mate buy yourself one box each and then switch contents, and that'll get you an army fairly quickly. So last thing we're going to look at is the rulebook itself. So every single incarnation of Warhammer 40,000 has improved upon the design of the book. And what strikes me in this is the actual design on the front, because it's quite ominous. Because you have on the front of the page, you have the Imperial Eagle, and in the relief on the background you can see that one side of the Imperial Eagle is clean. It's clean cut. It's got crisp sides. The other side of the eagle is diseased and decayed and withered, and that might that might actually mean a lot of different stuff. So you also have a twin-headed eagle in the flesh around the hammer, as well as a two-headed snake. So also symbolism, really cool. On the back of the box you have the old slogan: there's no time for peace, no respite, no forgiveness, there is only war. And that just says it all. It is only war, especially now with the new resurgence of chaos in the universe, with the new rift. And they don't disappoint with the artwork. Just look at this. This is old school artwork, like a big pencil drawing with so much happening. I could like study this artwork for a couple of hours, I think. And you have this one in color. They used it for in black and white on the box art itself. This one we've seen before. You have some new artwork here with the Imperium being assaulted by chaos in loads of different artworks. So most of this book is the new fluff and artwork. So you have the first 167 pages is filled with pictures and fluff and story and everything about the world you fight in. So the final like 100 pages is rules. So that's a 2/3 split. That's about right in my opinion. So full color rulebook again, not saving on this. So you have loads of cool stuff in this book. You have the hierarchy of the Imperium. What's the difference of a planetary governor and what his role is, basically. Loads of new cool artwork. But here you can see the famous thing. In an effort to seize the initiative, a strike force was mustered on Terra, supported by an entire army of Adeptus Custodes, classified the master of mankind dead. So I think it has been figured out what it actually says, and it doesn't say the master of mankind is dead. I do think that it is that those who wish the master of mankind dead. So yeah, not the doom and gloom everyone wants, but then again, half of the Imperium is torn to shreds, so it is kind of devastating. Loads of cool stuff. There's Imperial Fists in here, so that's renews my hope. Just a small bit about the Imperial Fists. Morden Iron Guard is back. Talan Desert Raiders. I thought Talan Desert Raiders were like completely wiped from Games Workshop, but obviously not. So every single army is told about. Here you have the Inari, Necrons. Yeah, it is a beautiful book. It is a very beautiful book. So dragging on, we get to the rules. So the rules start about here.
there is only war. So you can play the game using open play, which is basically do whatever you like. It's a friendly game. You have a narrative play, which basically means that you make a campaign and you play by the narrative set forth by the group. And you have match play, which basically is the old style tournaments. Something games which begin is investing in tournaments and match play. So it does tell you about the new style data sheets, all the core rules, really quickly going through the core rules with examples. Does look pretty straightforward. And what's the different missions and narrative play. So the first couple of pages of rules isn't that advanced, but then you get to, after the match play bit, I think, you get to objective cards, and you get to the advanced rules. Here you go. So again, not a lot of pages. It's about 50 pages of advanced rules. So the rules does seem much more streamlined. Oh, look at that, that's cool. That is a really cool looking artwork. So I can't wait to dive through the book more. I think I want to play more 40k going forwards. My armies have been lying in a box, just waiting for a lick of paint. My Imperial Fist army is still in boxes. I have about 300 Space Marines painted, but then again, I do want to tinker a bit. So with the old Death Watch, the new Death Watch release, I got those, and I have some Custodes, including the event-only character, Custodes character. So I might do a bit of a paint more characters, paint more one-on-one miniatures, like paint 5 Death Watch, paint 10 Custodes, and do the Primaris in my Imperial Fist colours, because that's what I want to play. And then I could basically, everything Imperium can fight with everything Imperium, and the like. So I think I'm set. I know that Weil is doing Chaos. He has an old Chaos army, and let's see what we can do in the future for STF and 40k. So I hope you enjoyed the look through. You now have a better understanding of what you are spending your money on if you get to buy this box. In my opinion, it is a hugely large improvement to the old start sets. This one has more detail in every single sprue. It has loads of cool miniatures, loads of big miniatures, and the rulebook inside the box is hardback. It's a big one, and again, the rules aren't that hard, so I do think that you could bear with not lugging this around all the time as well. So please enjoy the video. Tell us in the comments if you already bought the set, what you think yourself. As always, do check out our Patreon link in the description below. You can support us on Patreon and the studio we are in. We do need your support to continue this going and get more cool stuff for the studio, so we can improve the videos with you. And yeah, give us all the positive and negative feedback. We love to hear from you. And comment, like, share and subscribe. Support your hobby.